I'm Billy, and together we're the
Fuji guys. Here you go. We're at the first look now. You've had your unboxing session for the Z33WP. Now Billy's going to take you through the first look from all angles of the camera and tell you what all those buttons and wheels do, okay? Thanks,
Great.
Billy.
I'll take it away, Greg. Thank you very much. Z33, I have the black one in my hand right now. Of course, it comes in several different colors. We have the black, the blue, the pink. We also have a green as well, and then also an exclusive color, which is a yellow to one of the retailers. So if we take a look at the camera on the side, first thing you will see is a little area where you can actually attach your hand strap to. So that's what you want to do with the first thing, so that when you carry it around, you're not going to drop the camera. We'll take a look at the bottom of the camera, and as you can see on the bottom, there's a tripod socket. It's just a standard socket. It will fit any conventional tripod that you have. There's also the battery cover. This is where we will insert the memory card. So let's take a quick look at that right now. There's a little notch on the back, on the bottom of this, where you slide down. So when you slide it down, you pull it over, and it opens up. You will see the rubber gasket that protects the camera from the water coming into the internal compartments of the camera. Of course, I'm going to point out quickly to you the USB connection at the bottom. Again, it's inside the cover to prevent water from coming in. Okay, so we have the batteries. We want to match it with the yellow and the yellow indicator. Of course, the contacts go right inside the camera. So we're going to slide that in. You hear a little click, it's locked. If you want to take it out, all you have to do is slide the connect on the left-hand side, pull it out, and the camera and the battery side pops out again. So I'm going to leave that in. Of course, we want to put the memory card in, which of course takes an SD card, and I do have one here. It's a little tricky to get this out of the package.
So if you're buying a card, or if you haven't bought one yet, it takes the SD or the SD HC or high capacity cards as well.
That's right. And this, of course, is not included with the camera. It does have internal memory, so again, most retailers, you walk out of the store, you'll be buying a memory card. And of course, if it's an SD card and you already have an older camera, you'll probably be able to use that card with the Fuji camera. So putting the cards in, we're going to match the gold contacts on the back of the card with the gold sticker that's on the back of this camera. So if we match it together facing each other, it should go in pretty smoothly. You hear a little click, it's in. If we want to eject the card, just push it down and it's eject. So I'm just going to put it back in, close up the camera. And I guess one thing to note is that because it is a waterproof camera, Greg.
I was just going to say what you're thinking, or I was thinking what you're just about to say.
What we want to do is I'm just going to open it slightly again. So if we slide that door in, if you don't hear that clicking sound, it's not locked. I don't recommend you take it underwater. So make sure that thing is the low indicator that sort of slides down when it knows it's locked in place. I think Greg mentioned earlier too is that when you are changing batteries and changing the memory cards of the camera, just make sure there's not any dust or sand in that. In fact, we probably recommend you not to change the batteries or the cards while you're at the beach. Just be maybe back in the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're the case, you have no other choice, just blow it out a little bit if there's any sand and make sure that's locked. So that's the bottom half. Let's take a look at the front of the camera now. So on the front, of course, we have the flash. And of course, it's always a little tip that we always say is because the flash is pretty close to the shutter button, make sure your hands are not covering that flash. That could be a problem there, okay? We've got the flash. There's also an AF lamp on the front of the camera as well. It sort of indicates it blinks when you use a self-timer, so it helps in that sense. There is also a microphone in the front as well, so if you're recording video, again, make sure your hand's not blocking that, otherwise you can get muted sound.
Right.
Okay. We also have the lens, and it's a 3x optical zoom lens, Greg, and it's one of our internal zoom lens technology.
Yeah, a lot of people look at the camera and they don't think it zooms because it actually zooms internally, unlike some of the other cameras where when you're zooming the lens is physically moving in and out. This one's zooming internally, and virtually every underwater compact camera has an internally zooming lens so that we can maintain the water fastness on the seal there.
And in fact, because of that lens, this is one of the slimmest waterproof camera out in the marketplace. There's really nothing that fits and is shaped so well in your hands where you can take it, not just only to take pictures underwater or at the beach, but also on a regular everyday usage as well as a standard digital camera. Let's take a look at the top view of the camera now. So on the top, we have the on and off switch. So it's a little button. So you hold the button down, okay? And when we hold the button down, the camera will power up. And again, you take a look at the back of the screen to see that. I'm just going to turn it off. Right beside it is the shutter button. Again, with all the Fuji cameras, there is a two-step press process. So when you push halfway down, it pre-focuses and exposes, and then when you push it all the way down, it takes the picture. We also see the speakers also located on the top of the camera as well. Okay, so looking at the back of the camera, of course, what's pretty impressive in the back is this LCD screen.
Yeah.
It's a very large screen. In fact, it's about a 2.7 inch
2.7 inch, yeah, you got it.
LCD screen, high-res screen. Near the top, we have the zoom buttons where you can zoom in, zoom out. Okay. We have the mode dial sort of directional buttons. So if you take a look at the arrows on each button, it's sort of like the directional pad that goes up, down, left, right. Mm-hmm. And then for each button, there's also icons telling you what else it can do. So in this instance, there's a garbage can icon, which means you can trash your images on the playback. The flash button. There's also a macro button. There's a self-timer button. So if you want to do self-timer shots, whether it's 2 seconds or 10 seconds, this is where you engage it. You have the menu OK button. That basically is your menu option button to get into the menu. It also acts as the enter key or the OK to confirm any screens that come up on the camera there. There's also a display back button, which changes the display. It also is like your escape key on your computer. So if you made a mistake, you push the wrong button, and it tells you you want to delete an image, just push the display button, and it will actually cancel that for you. And there's also a one-touch movie button, which is kind of unique, Greg, in this type of
I love that.
camera. In the sense that you don't have to go anywhere. If you want to do a video, you just push this button, and it records right away. And then when you want to stop the video, you push that button again, and it stops. And then if you want to go and take a photo, you don't have to change any modes. You can just do the normal standard settings and shoot.
I think it was great when they came up with that idea, and I'll elaborate a little bit better because, I mean, if you're used to using a Fuji camera, you had to get used to the one-touch movie button. But for that YouTube generation that loves to shoot videos or switch back and forth from video to stills all the time, it couldn't be more convenient, Billy. And so on this camera, which also you're going to elaborate on some movie editing functions it's got as well, I think it is designed a little bit better in mind for someone who likes to switch back and forth from still to video, which really, you know, when you think of things like events like snowboarding and swimming and you name it, the type of events you'll be in, movies suit the subject very well as much as the stills do.
Okay, so that's the first look of the FinePix Z33 waterproof digital camera. Again,
well, I'm Greg.
And I'm Billy, and together we're the Fuji guys.
Okay, we'll see you and tell you about the special features on the next video. Thanks.